My name is Kristina Cope, and I'm the Director of English Language Arts for the Bayshore School District. This is the first podcast in a mini-series entitled Literacy for Life, where we will be talking about Bayshore English Language Arts instruction K through 12. The first podcast is entitled Academic Vocabulary and How You Can Help Your Child Become a Stronger Reader and Writer. One of the functions of academic vocabulary that we are talking about today is tiered vocabulary. And what tiered vocabulary means for your child K through 12 is vocabulary that he or she acquires not only at school but at home as well. Tier 1 vocabulary words are words that your children come to school already knowing. These are words that they learn at home with their family, out in the community, and with their friends. Tier 2 words are words that we focus on primarily here at Bayshore schools, not only in the English Language Arts classroom, but in every classroom. Words like compare, contrast, describe, synthesize are words that we can use in classrooms, whether it be English Language Arts, math, science, social studies.
Okay,
Just in case.
Very comfortable understanding, knowing, and using. Tier 3 vocabulary words are words that are acquired only in one specific subject area. So words that would be specific to a particular class like science or social studies. At the primary level, we focus on what's called domain-specific vocabulary. With the Literacy Collaborative framework that we have, our children are exposed to repetitive vocabulary over and over, which they can acquire, own, and then use in specific topics. For example, something that children are very, very comfortable with, like to learn about, like to talk about, the topic of dinosaurs. An example of a Tier 1 word surrounding the topic or domain of dinosaur would be words that they've learned at home: tooth, egg, horn. An example of Tier 2 words that your students would learn about here in school would be comparing and contrasting perhaps two dinosaurs or two fossils. Those are words that they would use not only in this domain, but in further domains or topics that they would learn about in school during the school year. An example of Tier 3 words would be words that are related only to the topic of dinosaurs. For example, herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. And although these words will be learned only in the topic of dinosaurs, as they move on to study perhaps other animals or other predators, they would learn to match the word carnivore, the carnivore of a Tyrannosaurus rex, to perhaps the carnivore of lion or tiger if they were studying big cats. So when we're talking about and focusing on academic vocabulary, one question that comes to mind is, how does child learn these words and why do they know so much about them? Well, the easy answer to a question relating to the example we just discussed, dinosaurs, is that students are fully immersed in the topic. So not only do they understand the words that they're learning in the books that they read, in the conversations that they have with their teachers, their family, their friends, these are words that they think about, they see, they're exposed to, they're fully immersed in. The acquisition of academic vocabulary is tied to all of our New York State learning standards for English Language Arts. When we talk about how you take the application of vocabulary, how you tie it to what's happening in school and what's happening at home, really we can take a look at an example in 3rd grade to help us understand how this is going to help our students become stronger readers and writers. In the primary school, many topics are focused on a particular unit, like dinosaurs, like big cats. When we enter the intermediate schools, we focus on a more thematic approach. In grade 3, students will be focusing on the theme of how children access education around the world. We will be looking at the vocabulary through a number of texts, both fiction and nonfiction, and as they read the tiers 1, 2, and 3 words over and over, they are going to acquire them and be able to use them as they move forward through their academic career. With a multitude of titles that are used in grade 3 to address the topic or theme of accessing education around the world for children, Tiers 1, 2, and 3 vocabulary words are present. They are reinforced not only in the English Language Arts classroom, but throughout their day in science and social studies as well. As students become familiar with these words, as they repeat them, as they hear them, as they use them, they are acquiring them as part of their normal vocabulary. While this may seem like a different way of teaching, truly it is not. The only difference is we are making sure now to connect all of our disciplines together. The vocabulary is addressed in more than one subject area to help students truly understand the meaning of words and the power of words. So now, how can you help your child at home? One of the great ways that you can do this is by reinforcing the topic or concept that is taught to your child in school. In social studies, if he or she is learning about the Greek or Roman Empire, support that by going to the library and researching Greek and Roman Empire. You can focus on the culture, you can focus on the mythology, you can focus on the customs, you can focus on the literature, the nonfiction. An additional way to support your child at home is to take the full immersion approach that we use here in Bayshore at home with your child. Focus on any topic that is interesting to you, your child, or your family. Whether it's enjoying the studies of another country, whether it's enjoying culinary arts or music, reading, or naming all the presidents. Whatever topic is of greatest interest to your child, really immerse him or her in that topic. Could be through reading, through writing, through searches on the computer, field trips, discussions. Anything that you can do to really support your child in that topic is the best way to help your child acquire that new vocabulary, which he or she will then own and be able to transfer to other new unfamiliar topics. So whatever the topic that your child may be interested in, for example, the solar system, history of dance, music, art, literature, author study, take the full immersion approach with your child on that topic. Read about it, write about it, take field trips, look online for appropriate Google apps and searches that you can engage in a great dialogue or writing piece with your child. As your child becomes comfortable with that vocabulary, whether it be tier 1, 2, or 3, relating to that particular topic, your child will take commands of that, be fully immersed in that topic, and be able to use those words as he or she is challenged with more rigorous topics, domains, and themes. The more students learn high utility words, the better they will be able to comprehend text that contains those words or similar ones. There are many resources available to you as parents to help your child. Some resources include Newsella, Twitter, Pinterest, Engage New York, and of course our Bayshore Schools website. You can access all of these resources from the Bayshore Schools website. Simply go to www.bayshoreschools.org. On the top toolbar, you'll notice the Departments tab. Select the Departments tab and scroll down to the Department English Language Arts. On the English Language Arts homepage, you will see a tab labeled English Language Arts Resources. If you select that tab, you will see all of the resources discussed in this podcast, in addition to several others which may be of interest to you. Additionally, presentations linked to future podcasts are also available on this site. Thank you for joining us in our first podcast, Literacy for Life. Have fun helping your child become fully immersed in whatever topics are of interest. For more information, or if you have any questions for me, please feel free to contact me at kcope@bayshoreschools.org. Thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to speaking with you at our next podcast.